The sadness of the fleshly gods, Buddhas, celestial beings and saints in the human world. Xiefeng. February 4, 2022. Who are the gods, Buddhas, and saints in the flesh in the human world? Answer: God Jesus, Buddha Shakyamuni, Saint Laozi, and Saint Deiform Buddha. When gods, Buddhas, and saints in the flesh appear among the crowds, their physical needs are no different from anyone else's. They need food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. They can also get sick and die. After Jesus died, Christians all around the world looked up to him, sang his praises, and honored his name. But how was the situation when Jesus was alive? Jesus said, "Foxes have dens, and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head." So, I ask all Christians in the world, if Jesus were still alive, would you provide Jesus with a place to rest his head? Today, Buddhists around the world look up to Shakyamuni Buddha, praising and venerating him as the Buddha. However, when the Buddha is present among you, would you be willing to offer him a bowl of rice? Consider what the Diamond Sutra says at the beginning, "Thus have I heard." Once upon a time, the Buddha sojourned in the Jetavana Park near Sravasti with an assembly of 1250 bhiksus. One day, at mealtime, the world-honored one put on his robe, took his bowl, and entered the great town of Sravasti to beg for his food. He had begged from door to door, he returned to his place. When he had taken his meal, he put away his robe and bowl, washed his feet, arranged his seat and sat down. Look, even though 1250 people came to hear the Buddha's teachings, not one of them offered him a bowl of rice. The Buddha had to go door to door in the city, begging for his meal. As for Laozi, his contributions to humanity, especially to the Chinese nation, are immeasurable. However, when he was alive, who cared about his life and death? Where did he go? Why couldn't he stay in his hometown? Why did he have to leave the Hanggu Pass? In his old age, how would he continue to survive? Did he have enough to eat, wear, and live? No one considered these matters. Deiform Buddha, the living saint today, created a theoretical system for humanity and established a completely new mode of production and life that differs greatly from tradition. People today might not fully understand his value and significance, but future generations will surely look up to him, praise him, and venerate him, just like they do for Jesus Christ, Shakyamuni Buddha, Laozi, and other saints. However, his physical body has experienced 65 cycles of seasons, and he still struggles for his own survival. Not a single person has proposed solving his survival issues so that he can dedicate himself to the welfare of humanity. Even the Chanyuan celestials who have benefited for over a decade have not collectively offered to address his basic needs. This is the sadness of the fleshly gods, Buddhas, celestial beings and saints in the human world. The true God was crucified, the true Buddha, even in old age, had to beg for food, the true celestial being couldn't survive in his homeland and wandered in foreign lands without knowing his fate, and the true saint often had to wake up at 4 in the morning to labor for survival. On the other hand, false gods, false Buddhas, false celestial beings, and false saints are comfortably supported by people. Reflect on this: can humanity truly escape the ocean of suffering and enter a paradise on earth? People, you can't even support a living God, Buddha, celestial being or saint during their lifetime. Can you support the thousands and millions of your descendants? Are you worthy of living in a paradise on earth? If not, you can only live in the purgatory of the human world.